And I'm joined by Rhiannon and Akira Mack. How you doing, Rhiannon, mate?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good to have you back on, mate. Been a while since we had a chat.
I know it's been actually, how long has that been? It's been a quite a while, hasn't it?
It's been quite a while since I've had you on the radio show. I think we bumped into each other briefly and made a stone,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
uh,
Oh, the
yeah.
rain. It was a good weekend though, and it was so much fun, and the bands were great, and everybody was like loving it, and it was raining heavily.
It was definitely a wet one, but like you say, it was a good one all the same.
I got off the stage and I couldn't get back on because there wasn't and then the next day on the Sunday they put a platform there, so if any of the artists got down off the stage, they could get back. But I had to run all the way around.
I say I remember seeing you running all the way around the back to get back on.
It was so funny though. It was all for comedy. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, it's all for good fun, all for good fun, mate. But like you say, speaking of live performances, you're currently on tour. Every
Yeah.
time I come on, it seems, well, come online, come on social media, it seems like another date is sold out.
Honestly,
It looks amazing, mate.
it's been so good, and the response to this tour has been, especially with us not having an album out yet. We would hope that we're going to be able to play more album songs, but what we're going to do is the next tour we're going to do like an album release tour, so that'll be like a specific album tour. But this time we've had like such a good response, considering that we're cycling new songs into the set,
Hmm.
but we're still like Chaos is Calling, and people still coming, people still love it, and we're here for it because we still love the songs too. So we'll
That's,
happily play if people come.
that's amazing. So you talked about the album there, and I know you've been working on stuff, but have you got a timeline yet as to when you're hoping for that to be
So
released?
a little bit up in the air because obviously we're independent, so it was just funding more than anything that we were trying to figure out. And once we'd figured that out, we were like, right, we hit the ground running, we're going now. And we obviously went to Canada. We recorded with a guy called Mike Crumpus. He did
Okay.
a lot in Field, Nelly Furtado. He's done all sorts. He was in Smash Mouth. He's done all sorts of things. He lived in Nashville for 10 years, lived in LA for 20 years, so he's well seasoned. He's been producing and writing and all sorts of things. He, in fact, played one of Natasha Bedingfield's songs, and he was like, "We recorded this in my living room in LA," and I was like, "That's insane." So we had so much fun in Canada recording the album. Me and Joe just went because me and Joe write all the songs.
Yeah.
So we just thought play everything as well. And Mike, the producer, he can play drums and bass and whatnot. So we were like, we'll be absolutely fine when we get out there, and we were. And we got to go back in June to just finish it off. There's some vocals that need finishing, some synths, some bits of this and that, tying all loose ends off. And then once that's done, it goes off to be mixed and mastered, which can take that time consuming bit. And then hopefully we'll be looking at releasing a date, probably the end of summer. It won't come out at the end of summer, but we'll probably announce when the date will be at the end of summer.
Oh, nice one. So it's all full steam ahead for it then, mate.
Yeah, I really out now, but I'm like, I want everything done yesterday. I do our manager Mark said in. I'm like, why is it? Can we forward 8 months? And he was like, no.
Well, it looks like it's an excuse to go back on the road, isn't it? Once you got that new material and you can really, really push it, you got that excuse to go back out there and showcase that and the new material.
Well, most definitely. And obviously, like, it's constantly evolving. We're constantly writing new things. I mean, Joe's started writing the third album.
Wow.
And you're constantly going, and keeping the ideas like milling in and going over and making them better and better and better. So it's nice for us to get out and play a new set as well, because it keeps us on our toes. Because you get in the groove and everybody knows the songs and everybody's playing the songs night out. And so when you get a new set and you get the new songs, you get like a new challenge to like overcome, I suppose.
How have you found people's response to the new stuff when you've been playing it live on this tour?
It's really good. I mean, we've still kept like the Kira Mac element of doing a bit of something for everyone. And Save Your Whiskey on there is a little bit more Southern rocky.
Yeah.
And then we've got Games, just hardcore rock. And then No Way Out again is hardcore rock. And then you've got Farewell and Climbing, which are a little more new metal-y, heavier, Cynthia. So we've got like a bit of and people, that's the whole point. That's why we do what we do. We do a bit of everything, is because people react to their favorite one differently because they're into different things, and that's the beauty of it, I suppose. But everybody's been great. The last run of shows, Leeds, Manchester, Glasgow, Newcastle, were absolutely top notch. People, it was packed. It was insane, and everybody was up for a party. And even on like the Thursday night and the Sunday night, people were like singing along and clapping and joining in, and I got in the crowd. And yeah, it's been brilliant. It's been really, really good.
That's good that you got that, mate. And it's nice to know that the new material has got that, got that depth, got that breadth to it again, like you did on your debut.
Yeah, because the second album, that was the problem. Was I got in my head about it when we first started writing it, because to follow the first album, when we got in the studio to do the first album, it was like, oh, we wrote some songs, we're just gonna go record them, see what
Yeah.
happens, put it out, we hope for the best. But then the second album, was like, oh God, no, it's got to be as good as, if not better, than the first album. And Joe was like, me and Joe writing, we were like, right, it's got to be better, it's got to be better, and we got in our own heads a little bit about it. And then we kind of let that go. We were like, you know what? Let's just write what we like, write what comes to us, and we'll just roll with it. And that, I think, has served us well for the second album. So hopefully everybody likes it, or else, well, that'll be that.
I'm sure they will, mate. I'm sure they will. But you're saying that about the album, so that's a classic kind of thing, the tricky second album. Did you feel that pressure then when you were writing for it then?
Massively. I don't know what it was, because my voice has changed as well.
Hmm.
I wrote the songs on the first album and recorded the songs fresh out of lockdown. So literally, we came out of lockdown in the June, July. We recorded in the November. So I hadn't done that much singing. My voice had such rest and such like a nice little time in lockdown, and everybody had like R&R'd, and it was all good. And my voice has changed massively over the last couple of years that we've been absolutely slamming it gigging. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't maybe do what I used to do, or my voice is just different. It's just in a different way now.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, what if everybody thinks I'm but it should be fine. I think it'll be fine. I hope it is anyway.
Mate, I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure you panic. It's natural to panic when you're giving out new music and you are of any description. So I totally understand where you're coming from on that. But I'm sure if you're getting good responses live, like you say, yeah, Ben, then that's always a good marker, isn't it? So
Well, we went forward with this album, and me and Joe watched the Parkway Drive documentary, and they always say like melody before everything else. So that's what we've kind of focused on this album, was like catchy melodies, catchy choruses, things that like hit people. And I mean, we love Nickelback, and they've always got a catchy chorus.
yeah.
So that's what kind of like that's kind of fed into quite a lot to the second album. And Joe's bought himself a little synth machine, so
Nice.
everything like 47 string parts on it and 14 keyboards and like spaceship noises and rockets and all sorts of
So
weird
it's
and wonderful.
a lot more things to play with then.
Yeah. Yeah, he got this. I was like, oh gosh, this sounds awful. First week. And then he's really good actually. If he doesn't know something, he'll teach himself. So Logic, he taught himself 3 instruments. He taught himself to synth, like and he's constantly like songwriting evolving. He's constantly looking at new ways and different things. And we've been listening to like a lot of Bring Me and Bad Omens and stuff like that. He's been listening to a lot of Sleep Token. So it's kind of got that kind of little element in there, but at the same time trying to keep it going through the Kira Mac machine so it sounds like us. So it was great. I mean, being in Canada and recording and everything, we're so happy with how it sounds. It's been a really, really good experience, the second album, really.
Do you think your writing as a partnership has changed then as well between this album and your debut?
It just keeps getting better. I mean, like I say, in lockdown, we wrote a lot of the first songs. So Joe was in Hull and I was in Stoke, and we did and we didn't even Zoom. He just sent me the track, and I just send him a vocal recording back over it. And he just sent me new things, and he'd be like, I like that, I don't like that, so on and so forth. So I think our writing partnerships just got stronger because he moved to Manchester last year. And then he moved in with me just before Christmas.
Yeah.
So he's in a spare room. So I only have to go next door, and we can write all day, every day. And we can spend like a lot more time and a lot more energy on writing. And he writes every day. Every single day he gets up in the morning and he'll write a riff, or he'll write something, or he'll fandangle something, or come up with an idea. And obviously that just makes our writing partnership tighter because we're so close physically that we can obviously write anytime.
Oh, that's good that you've got that. And it's sometimes I've certainly known people to do the moving in thing together, and it's just been a complete clash, and it doesn't work. It's, as well
I
as
mean,
the ideology.
me and Joe are full Nolan Liam. Do not get it twisted. We basis. We fight like cat and dog, especially in the studio. But we always come out with a great product, which is what it's all about in the end. And we're literally like siblings. We're like brother and sister at this point. I've known Joe next year like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, like when neither of us are going anywhere, we're stuck with each other for life, unfortunately, for the both of us.
But I think for like, it's like anything. I don't think everyone needs a yes man. I don't think a yes man is necessarily a good thing. I think you want someone to say, I'm not happy with that. You can do better. that riff shit. I don't like how you sung that bit, because it pushes you forward. I mean, all the best writing partnerships you mentioned, Noel and Liam there, they fought like cat and dog, Mick and Keith, Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. You know, they've always had that friction about it, but that's what adds to it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And it just it makes it better. It makes the song better, and overall, because Joe will write something, I'll be like, I don't really like that. Can you do it in a different key, or can you do this? And he'll like, well, this is what I had in mind for the melody. You're not really singing what's in my brain, and we kind of just each other. And only when it blows up is when we've been in the studio for about 13 hours, and we're running on cider and nicotine because we have 3 days properly. That's when it kicks off.
That's when cabin fever sets in at the end of the day, isn't it? When you get to that point. So
Yeah.
that's cool though. I mean, on this tour as well, you got a band that I'm particularly excited about, Jayler supporting you. I've not seen these guys live, so I'm looking forward to seeing them supporting you in Norwich. Loving what they're putting out. I love the EP they released last year. How had you seen the guys before you had them on the tour, or how did that come about?
Kind of wanted something, and this is going to sound awful. We wanted something fresh. Like we took, we've had Calm Waters, we've had These Wicked Rivers, we've had so many like bands that are really good friends with us on the scene, and we've taken them out, and we've had an absolute blast all the time. And you know you're going to get a good reaction. You know people are going to love it and whatever. And then I just said to Mark, I was like, I think we should take out some new meat. I think we should take out somebody that probably isn't going to get taken out because they've never been on tour, or probably isn't going to get taken out because they're not in the thick of it with friends and whatever like that. And Mark was like, what about these little whippersnappers? And I went, oh my God, Mark, are they 15? And Mark was like, no, well, one of them's 17 and the rest are 18, but one of them's 18 and the rest are 19 now. But they're very green. It's their first ever tour, so we're pranking them to the max.
As is your right.
I said we should steal a van from outside the venue and like park it in the next street or something, but everyone said that was too far. But no, they're great. They're really good, and they're proper little whippersnappers. They're definitely cutting their teeth.
Yeah.
They're definitely learning as they go. But that's what you've got to do. That you in apprenticeship music industry, like you don't get taught much without doing it. So yeah,
that's really cool. Like I say, I got sent. I think it was No Woman, the first track I got sent to the radio show, and again I thought this sounds great. And went and looked into them, and I'm like exactly you said, like, how old are these guys watching the video for it? But I love it when you see some people to kind of taking the reins in, and from what I'm hearing, I'm really like I say, not seen them live yet, so looking forward to see them supporting you. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. They're really, really good, really great. I mean, I don't normally go out before the show. I'm normally either doing photos or meetings or interviews or whatever. But I can obviously hear them in my ears. So I've been listening to them through the stage monitors, and they sound really, really good. And obviously I hear them in sound check, and they're really great, and they're really eager for it, and they've got a lot of energy. They've got a lot of promise. I think they're really good. I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing and crack on with it, and I think they'll go far.
That sounds like it's going to be a good gig on Sunday then, maybe between you and them.
Right, honestly, they're perfect for us. They get the crowd amped. They play into the crowd so much. They're on the ego risers. They're all about the stage. They're just like little. If we were all boys, obviously I'm not a boy. If we were all boys and we were 18 again, they remind me of us. Yeah.
Well, they have to do some pretty big jumps to beat Brett. So. But yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a good tour. The tour's going well. I've seen some videos of stuff you do, guys, some covers and really mixing up with your covers and going for stuff that people, you've always been pretty open about. You got a diverse taste in music, and that's absolutely cool. That's the way it should be. But how have you gone around choosing the songs that you wanted to choose for these covers? Because some of them have been really off the wall.
So didn't want to be. So there's always a story behind the acoustic set in the middle of the acoustic little wall in the middle of the set. It's all got a story. So one I've written that probably will never see the light of day. So if people come to this tour, it's probably the only time they're going to hear it. And then there's one that me and Joe did at an open mic when we first met. And then there's one that's on the acoustic EP that we've got for sale at the merch stand. And then there's one that me and Joe were just listening to when we were writing the second album that we just loved to perform. So that was one. And then we've got a You Ought to Know, Alanis Morissette. And I wanted to do something that was like not overly done by other people on the scene or by anybody really, like Whole Lot of Love or, you know what I mean? Like it's been done. So I wanted to do something like that. That was a bit left field, and then like completely change it up. So we made it like a metal version of it. And I've changed like some of the melody structures and stuff like that. And the boys do like this big breakdown at the end. It's really good. So we just kind of one that we could jam, that was well known, that people could sing along to, that wasn't overdone. That was the thought process that went into it, really.
Nice. It's nice to mix up, but like you say, you can go and hear a whole lot of love, and any covers band go in or whatever. So, and I also love that. Well, I love it when a band takes a cover and, for want of a better term, makes it theirs, because
Yeah,
otherwise you might as well be in a covers band rather than, like, putting your own stamp on it. So it was nice
yeah,
to see the videos of you putting your absolute stamp on it, like you say, and making those twists to a song that's a great song anyway. But taking it and Kira macking it, for want of a better term.
Kira Mack in it. Look at that.
So, what does the rest of the year hold out for you, mate, that we maybe not have spoken about?
So we've got some things to announce that on after this tour. We obviously still want to follow suit where we finish a tour and announce a tour. We've got some things to announce. We've got a festival. We've got Firebolt. We've got obviously the album. We'll have singles out and things like that. Dog. We'll have things like that, and yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. Socials. We've got some things that'll get announced very, very soon.
Wicked. Well, everyone keep their eyes out for that, and obviously everyone keep buying tickets. You've got quite a few dates left on the tour. Like I say, I'll be coming to the Norwich show on Sunday, so looking forward to that. And yeah, it's always good to catch up with you, mate, and appreciate your time.
Oh no, thank you very much for having me.
No worries at all. Yeah, I'll see you on Sunday, mate. Yeah, absolutely. But at the beginning of the interview, I'm going to play Scorned. But what song of yours would you like us to play at the end of the interview?
Downfall.
Downfall. Cool. We'll lock that in. Well, as always, thanks for your time, Rhiannon, mate. And yeah, I'll see you Sunday, pal.
Thank you very much. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday, mate. Take care.